Hello, this is State Representative Wayne Christian. I want to visit with a theme that has impressed me in my life, and it's kind of entitled Don't Blame the Darkness. Let me tell you how this works. We get upset a lot of times in this nation, and I think we've done our children a disservice. We have a government where used to the President of the United States was honored, and our young people in school would say, when asked what they want to be when they grow up, I want to be President of the United States. I want to be governor of the state. And we used to teach our children to respect public officials. It was the ultimate honor to have the representative, the mayor, the councilman, the president, the vice president, some elected official to come to events. But we've tarnished that, and quite frankly, we've had the politician, elected officials, because there have been examples of an abuse of that have lost the respect. But by and large, we have sat home, many of us guilty of the fact in front of our children as they sit around the TV with us or around the dinner table and listen to us complain about those sorry, good-for-nothing, low-life politicians that are ruining the country. There are people also that say, I'm not going to vote. My vote is wasted because I lose that vote because those politicians will tell you anything in a TV commercial and go to Washington or Austin and do exactly the opposite of whatever's best for them. We've talked those exact lines in front of our children to the point that the number one goal of children in our public schools today, when asked what they want to be when they grow up in this day and time, politician, legislator, president, is at the bottom of the list. And thus we wind up not getting the best and the brightest of our country into positions of leadership, and it harms all of us by not having the best leading us in our country and our state. I can remember as I heard Bill Clinton, what he did, the terrible thing with Monica Lewinsky, and what a bad example that was to my three daughters. And I was mad. I was angry at the President of the United States, and I was complaining, and I went to a preacher that is if you're wanting to complain about something, that's usually not the smartest place to go to, because it humbles you real quick, as he did me. And this pastor looked at me, and I was complaining. I said, Pastor, why is it that I see people in the church not getting involved, and we're sitting here in that sorry, good-for-nothing president, what he did to my three daughters? I tell you, I'm so upset with these politicians and what they're doing, and I think we'll just kick all the bums out, and I was doing all the griping and complaining you hear us doing today in our society. And he turned to me and said something that has changed my life and turned my head around. He said, Wayne, let me tell you something. When darkness is in control and it does the best job it possibly can do, it's just going to get darker. And you have to applaud them. They're doing exactly what they're supposed to do. If there's no light in a situation, it's not the darkness's fault. Folks, that has changed my view of what my responsibility is toward my children and toward our country. And when we complain about how we don't like what this politician or what this party or what this group is doing, our thing is not to sit back and do nothing. Let me get you what has resulted in our country right now. Right now, when we have the heaviest turnout of voters in the state of Texas, about 50%, I think it was about 40 plus 47% in the last presidential election. Most people turn out, that's 50% of the registered voters turn out and vote in a presidential election. But listen to this. I said 50% of registered voters. Do you know how many people are eligible to vote that never registered to vote? 50%. That means that only 50% of 50% ever take the time to get off the couch, quit griping long enough to go and vote. And many of those are uninformed voters. They vote for the man, not the party. They vote for a party and not a philosophy. They don't know what they're voting for. They make a decision in the last 2 days because of who does the best television commercials. Folks, let me tell you, 1 out of 4 of your friends, neighbors, church-going members, of family, and mine show up to the polls to vote. And we wonder why the people's will is not exhibited by our politicians. So folks, I challenge you today. If we are given and have been given under our Constitution a God, I believe, ordained Constitution that gives us, unlike any country in the history of planet Earth, the politicians are not the boss. They're the employees. We are ruled by the people. That's us. And when only 1 out of 4 of our rulers are showing up to rule, we've got problems. So I challenge you, get involved, pay attention, be an example for your children and grandchildren, participate, and be an informed voter.